Now at 6, the Carthage City Council delays a decision to censure a member. We'll see what's next. Plus, Joplin business owners come together for the annual Business Expo, and it's National Change a Pet's Life Day. We'll hear from a local pet hospital dealing with overpopulation.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Carthage City Council members should discuss the proposed resolution to censure one of its members in their next meeting on February 13th. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Tanya Bach. The decision to delay the discussion was made at last night's meeting. The council member at the center of the discussion is Tiffany Cassi. KOAM's Fernanda Silva was at the meeting.
The council meeting to decide whether Tiffany Cassi would be censured was a busy one, with all seats taken. In the agenda, the discussion about Cassi was scheduled to be a closed session. Cassi and some residents argued that the council should have the discussion on the resolution open to the public, but it was kept as a closed session.
This is illegal under the laws of Missouri.
Our legal opinion disagrees with that.
In an interview before the meeting, City Administrator Greg Degnan explained his perspective on the reason behind the decision.
There are city employees involved and there was an HR investigation, and so that is protected. However, because she is not an employee of the city, because she is an elected official, any censure or discipline for any council member always has to be done in a public setting.
For Cassi, the decision to go to a closed session is questionable.
I'm pretty sure that that is illegal. So because there is an employee involved, it may fall into a gray area. But when a council person, I am not an employee, and when a council person is being censured, that type of thing is supposed to be open to the public.
Just after 10 p.m., once the closed session was over, council members voted to table the censure until next meeting.
To give ample time to prepare that response.
I've only had about 31 hours notice to prepare for this type of thing. And in there, I had to find time to sleep and go to work 2 times. So I've had almost no time to prepare, and I feel that it would have been unfair for them to have continued with the resolution tonight.
Before the meeting, Cassi explained her perspective on why the resolution is being proposed.
A lot of the complaints were that I invited citizens to come to meetings, that I thanked them for coming, I thanked them for participating. A couple of times in the list of complaints was that I advised people to call City Hall or call their council person.
There's a HR complaint or human resources complaint that led to a very large investigation that is causing it. I really can't share that because it is protected by our HR policies, but that is what initiated this.
According to Degnan, a censure is an opinion of the council, that they disagree with the councilperson's action, but that doesn't remove the member from the council. We tried reaching out to all the council members and the mayor before and after the meeting, but only 2 answered their phones and said that they had no comments. KOAM spoke to some Carthage residents to hear their thoughts after the meeting.
I thought that it should be an open meeting. I thought that they should be able to talk about it, and they chose not to. I think there again, we don't have clarity, we don't have honesty, we don't know what was said, so usually if you don't know, your mind goes to it probably wasn't good.
I feel like the citizens stood up for what's right. They're demanding transparency and ethics to our city council. We support the First Amendment. We feel like our voice has been silenced so much, and this is just the latest step in silencing the voices of the citizens and people working for the citizens to ensure transparency.
In Carthage, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
You can read the full story with more detail at KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us with a first look at weather.
Well, of course, it's gloomy outside once again, like we have seen. Really, for the past couple of weeks, we haven't had much in the way of sunshine. We do have the fog once again. So it's foggy. Here is 20th and Rangeline. Here's outside of Pittsburgh, but temperatures above freezing, so we don't have to worry about any frozen precip as we go through the overnight hours. Most of us low to mid 40s. Will slowly drop back to about 40 later on tonight, but visibility is about half mile in CJ, really no visibility. Miami down toward Grand Lake. So we are going to have the patchy, very dense fog advisory in effect once again for us during the overnight hours for us tonight. We're also going to get a few showers in here later. We do have some light showers in our western counties, a weak little wave just north of Oklahoma City. When we aren't getting showers, we're going to have some drizzle out there, so the roads are going to be wet, kind of hang low to mid 40s. Rain sticks around, maybe even some snow chances. We'll look at that here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. The public today got to know some Joplin businesses better. The Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce held its 31st annual Business Expo. It started yesterday evening with a businesses after hours event for local entrepreneurs to network. And then this morning, business owners had a chance to check out all the booths set up. Public was allowed to explore the expo starting at noon, learning all about the area has to offer.
We continue to see growth. We continue to sell out every year for the Business Expo, and we see new businesses. We're always seeing new businesses participate in Expo, but we also have our regulars that come back every year, which we appreciate.
And this is the 31st year of the Business Expo. It's police versus fire with a battle of the badges in Pittsburgh. The two departments are competing in their annual chili cook-off with the American Red Cross. People donating blood today and tomorrow can try both types of chili and then vote for their favorite. Organizers say the event has brought in more than 100 signups for donations. The fire and police departments both say the competition is heating up.
Ours is better because we put so much time into it. Like I said, it's a smokehouse chili. It's something a little different. It's not just your average chili.
I believe we're going to bring it home again this year. We kind of change it up a little bit each year, who makes the chili. You know, around the fire station, there's lots of recipes floating around. Everybody has their own secret.
Well, the winner of the Battle of the Badges will receive the 2024 trophy once all the votes are counted. Today is Change a Pet's Life Day. According to the American Kennel Club, today is a day to encourage people to adopt from shelters and raise awareness about animals in need. They also say there are more ways to change a pet's life than just adoption, including fostering animals, volunteering at local shelters, and providing donations. Parsons Pet Hospital is just one of the organizations in our area encouraging residents to adopt rather than shop for your next four-legged friend.
There's so many people who don't spay and neuter their animals, whether it be a cat or a dog, and so we have all these strays that show up and all these people who will not come back and reclaim their animals, and so it's important just so these lives aren't lost and that they get adopted just because they're not some cute little designer puppy.
The Parsons Pet Hospital is currently at a high volume and encourages anyone wanting to adopt to come in and fill out an application. And Miami nonprofit is asking for the community's help. The Community Crisis Center helps those who have been affected by domestic violence, sexual assault, and stalking. Their resources include a 24-bed shelter in Miami. The center is asking for the community's help with their growing need for women's undergarments, including socks, bras, and underwear in all sizes.
Oklahoma is #1 in the nation for rates of domestic violence, so our state is at crisis levels. We are continuing to grow our service numbers, so it's really important that these services are accessible. They're 24/7, and that's something that we rely on for the community, is helping meet the needs of the people coming to stay with us.
Any donations can be dropped off at the Community Crisis Center Advocacy Building in Miami. Well, coming up, an Oklahoma Highway Patrol trooper escapes with his life after an SUV slams into a pulled-over vehicle. Plus, why the latest addition to Oklahoma's State Library Committee is drawing controversy. 3 people, including an Oklahoma Highway Patrol trooper, nearly lost their lives after a distracted driver crashed into a parked vehicle during a traffic stop. This happened on I-40 in Canadian County last week. Authorities say Trooper Jesse Gregory pulled over a vehicle and was handed a warning when an SUV crashed into the pulled over vehicle, sending Gregory flying. The trooper and both drivers were taken to the hospital, but luckily all injuries were non-life-threatening. The Highway Patrol is still investigating the cause of the crash. Oklahoma State Superintendent of Schools has stirred up controversy with an appointment he made. Ryan Walters yesterday named far-right influencer Chaya Rychik as an advisor to a state library committee. Rychik is the founder of the conservative social media account Libs of TikTok. She made headlines last year after criticizing the teaching methods of a Tulsa school librarian. The schools in the city began receiving bomb threats shortly after those posts. Walters said he appointed Rychik because he believes her perspective is important to protect Oklahoma students from what he called woke ideology.
What we wanted to do was bring in someone who has been a national leader in exposing what's going on in our schools. She has really shown a spotlight nationally and frankly with a lot of our Oklahoma teachers as well.
Critics are calling the appointment a distraction. Rychik's appointment to the committee is on a volunteer basis and she will not be paid. A little later, the Kansas City Chiefs get set for their 6th straight AFC Championship game appearance against the Ravens.
Plus, we have more rain, fog, maybe even a little bit of snow in the forecast. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, another gloomy, dreary day for us today. We've had the fog all day long, super thick last night into the morning hours, and we're going to see that again as we go through the overnight hours tonight. You can actually see from our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower camera looking, so 7th and Joplin Street, so northeast into downtown, but you can't see very far because visibilities are under a half a mile. And they're going to drop even lower than that later on tonight. So about a quarter mile in Nevada, we have a half mile on Carthage, Carl Junction, and then barely any visibility at all once you get through Ottawa County and parts of Delaware County. And most of our visibilities across the board are going to be a quarter mile or less as we go through the overnight tonight and into the morning hours for us tomorrow. So dense fog advisory, everybody, once again tonight through the morning hours tomorrow. We do have some light little showers in our western counties, but most of us just fog and drizzle. There is a weak little wave heading toward us later on tonight, so we're going to see showers start to flare up a little bit. It's kind of just north of Oklahoma City. It's going to be light rain, but we are going to see the showers kind of pick up a little bit, especially after midnight tonight. Until then, mainly drizzle. Scattered showers through the overnight hours, especially on the Missouri side, so the Kansas-Missouri state line, and then east. So let's go into the early morning hours here, 7 a.m., a batch of rain, southwestern Missouri, and then it will slowly rotate out of here as we go through about the middle of the morning hours. Rainfall amounts not heavy. Most of us under 1/10 or 2/10 of an inch, maybe a little bit higher once you get in southwestern Missouri, quarter upwards to about a half an inch, but we could always use the rain. All right, we don't have to worry about any ice. Temperatures are going to hold into the 40s throughout the overnight hours tonight. Here's 7th, here's range line sitting at 43. Winds very light, visibility pretty much under a mile. So here goes this weak wave out to the west. Here's our next storm system, which will start to affect us as we go into the weekend. Once we get rid of the rain tomorrow, just mostly cloudy. High temps are going to be upper 40s to near 50. Tomorrow night, clouds stick around, fog builds in once again. We drop back upper 30s to near 40. On Friday, cloudy all day. We warm into low to mid 50s, but look at the rain starts to increase. Here's 4:30 p.m. Rain increases through the night, Friday night into Saturday morning, and then it really increases as we go through the morning hours on Saturday. So a cold rain, temperatures drop into the 30s. If this storm system can intensify on top of us, we could get some cooling into the system and possibly switch over, or at least a mix of rain and snow. And if that does occur, it would pile up a little bit. So we got to watch that once we get into Saturday afternoon. All right, here's your day planner for you. Thursday, 43 at 9, 44 by 11, and then by 5 p.m., high temperature, 48 to about 50 degrees. 56 on Friday, fog again, some drizzle, clouds, rain picks up during the evening hours. Rain possibly over to snow Saturday. Finally, we get to see the sun again by Sunday and Monday. Temperatures next week, 50s to near 60 degrees, which is pretty good.
Yeah, we can see the sun, but then it gets cold.
Yeah, I mean, a little cooler for the weekend, but
it's still way above what it was,
yes,
you know, so we'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it. All right, thanks, Doug. Still ahead, Missouri Southern and Pitt State basketball return to their home floors this evening. And Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes preview this Sunday's AFC Championship game. John Dales has those stories and more up next in sports.
A year ago tonight, Missouri Southern women's basketball coasted to a 40-point win over Lincoln to improve its record to 17-4. Later that season, the Lions went on to win an MIAA tournament championship. They're trying for more of the same this year and are in very good shape to do so. The Lady Lions enter tonight with just 4 losses on the season, much like last year. And as you've heard us talking about all week, they are enjoying a 10-game winning streak, which has them firmly in first place in the conference. This evening's opponent is Northeastern State, and we'll have highlights from the men's and women's games at 9 and 10. Over at Pitt State, the Gorillas take the floor at John Lance Arena tonight as well, with Rogers State coming in for a conference battle. The women's game is already tipped off, men to start immediately after. Both Gorilla squads are just looking to stop the bleeding right now. They've lost a combined 5 games in a row. The Hillcats men's team have won 4 in a row, so Jeff Boshy's group should have its hands full tonight. We'll have the highlights from the Gorilla Hillcat doubleheader later at 9 and 10. This Sunday, the Chiefs play in the AFC Championship game, as they did last year, the year before, and the year before, dating all the way back the past 6 seasons. This time around, it's a matchup of superstar quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. This morning, both of them are asked about facing each other.
I don't like competing against him at all. But yeah, I mean, he's a great quarterback. Definitely a Hall of Famer. It's not even, it's a no-brainer. He's definitely a Hall of Famer. But it's just, I believe it's just two greats, up-and-coming greats, just going toe-to-toe. You know, like a heavyweight fight. Heavyweight matchup. That's just what I see.
He's going to be the MVP for a reason. I mean, he goes out there, he leads his team, he scores, he runs, he throws, he does whatever it takes to win, and that's what the greats do. And like I said, it'll be a great challenge for our defense, but also a great challenge for our offense going against their defense. So it's going to take a full team effort if we want to find a way to get a win.
In the NBA, if you followed our Thunder coverage last night, you might have noticed their game ended with a little controversy. Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups gets 2 technical fouls and is ejected, and the Thunder then score 3 points in the final 15 seconds of the game to win. Late last night, Portland announces it is protesting the result of the game, claiming Billups called a timeout, wasn't awarded it. The league office has 5 days to make a ruling on the protest, and there hasn't been a successful one in the NBA since 2007. That's a look at sports. We're back after this.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. We'll have more on how Parsons Pet Hospital is handling being at max capacity. Plus, looking into the mystery of how 3 people froze to death in the backyard of a Kansas City home earlier this month. And we'll have tips to avoid carbon monoxide poisoning as we run those heaters. Those stories and a lot more tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Will we need to be running those heaters as much?
No, actually, which is kind of good. Our temperatures have been slowly on the incline over the past week or so. 50 tomorrow, 56 on Friday. A little cooler for the weekend. Rain, snow mix Saturday, but most of next week looks pretty good. Enjoy it because February could be an interesting ride.
I don't even want to talk about that. Too soon. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you right back here at 10. Have a great evening and an even better tomorrow.